Yes, everybody
What's up, y'all?
look at
I
pretty.
thought
I
you
see
was
the
gonna
pretty.
fuck it. I'm putting it in some pigtails.
Yes, I have to just do a little 1-2 step.
A little, a little Sierra.
How's everything, pretty? How's everything?
I'm good. Bro.
Yeah, we
Been
gonna
watching.
be.
Hope y'all been watching Legend.
let, let, let's jump right into pretty. Like, for people that don't know, this is Pretty Lanvin. Pretty, where you from originally?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. From the Midwest, baby. Originally.
Born and raised. All right. How did you get involved? How did you get started in this thing? How did you get involved? Like,
Oh, well, first, y'all remember the chat line, right? I know you remember the chat line. I got I got on the chat line when I was mad. I was like 13 or 14, something like that. And I ended up meeting my best friend at home who took me to like in Cleveland they had this area. I think every major city has like an area where all the gay people like kick it at like all the young people. So he took me to this parking lot and in the parking lot it was just nothing but the girls. They was voguing down, smoking blunts, talking shit, slap boxing, doing all of this different stuff. And I was just like, bitch, this is like Neverland. Like, what do y'all be doing? And they said it was a part of Ballroom. And I was like, what the fuck is Ballroom? And they was like, we're going to take you to a meeting. And so they took me to a prestige meeting. And that's when I met Alvernian. And Alvernian seen me. And he was like, oh, you are schoolboy now. And I was like, I don't even know what schoolboy is. And I was like 15, I think, at the time when I met
so your
Alvernian.
first category was schoolboy.
Our first category was schoolboy realness. I was real. I had birthdays and everything. I was in school, so it worked.
Did you ever work that category?
I walked it one time, but it was so boring. Like it just was like you just go up there and stand there, and like did nobody even pay us no attention for real.
So what made you
I
want to
couldn't do it.
vote? What made you want to vote?
Bitch, what made me want to vote? That's the girls. Especially back then, when the Bush Queen old films would come out, they was the girls. Like everybody would come to rush the floor, circle around them, and I remember standing in the balcony one time and watching it was somebody named D. Mugler who was like the main soft and cunt girl back in the Midwest back then. And they kept trying to get her to vogue. They kept trying to get her to vogue. She was like, no, I'm not vogue. And they was playing all the little old house music, like Mr. Postman and all of that. And then they played DJ Robbie Robb, who's also from Cleveland. May he rest in peace, he passed. But he played the Ha. And he said, where are all the Fallout kids? That's what they used to call them back then in the Midwest. They used to call them Fallout kids. And she just like stuck her hand out like this, and she started doing like this, and everybody just rushed around her. And I looked at her, I was like, that's what I want to be, bitch. I want to be like that. Fuck that. I don't want to watch Schoolboy no more. I want to vote.
What? So you was a prestige at this time still? Am I correct?
I was still a prestige. I was a prestige until I graduated from high school. So I was a prestige for like 2 years.
So what did Alvernia say when you said you wanted to speak the language when you wanted to vote? What did Alvernia say about that?
He said he was going to teach me, so he started to teach me like a little bit of old way. Because I said I wanted to vogue. I never said I wanted to do both. I didn't know the difference between vogue, femme, and old way. So I was like, I just want to vogue. So he said he was going to teach me. So he kept trying to teach me old way, but I could not get it. And he was like, it's all right, daughter. He started calling me daughter at this time. I started like, I was beiging my hair. I was being one of the girls now. So he started calling me daughter. He's like, it's all right, daughter. You don't need to vote. Just, we're going to find another category, but you don't need to vote. So I was like, fuck that, bitch. I want to vote. So I would practice every day in my basement while my mother was like, I would get home from school. I would pull the mattress downstairs, and I would just practice dipping on the mattress over and over again. I would just get up and just keep doing it, keep doing it. I was trying to learn to duck off, and duck off was the hardest thing. Every time I would show somebody, they would say, I don't need to vote. I don't need to vote.
Oh, wow, I can't believe that. Who taught
Everybody,
nobody?
ta- nobody taught me. I
Nobody
taught
taught you at
myself.
all?
Mm-mm. I learned by myself. Me and you remember Bianca from Jersey?
I know Bianca from Jersey BV.
Yeah, she walked Superway too. She was a prestige too at the time, and so I used to vogue with Bianca. Like we would just practice, and it was like 15 of the young kids. Albernian just went city to city, picking up different teenagers and making them prestige. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, you a prestige, you a prestige, you a prestige, and he would take it for all these different cities, and we would just go walk the balls. So I knew mad people. Jamil Icon was a prestige with me too. He was walking both them at first. You got a gag. And then he started walking rentals with a twist. And then he ended up going back to both them. But I would vote with Jamil and Bianca. Those are the people I used to vote with all the time.
Did you book vote for him as a prestige or never?
Yeah, I started voting for him as a prestige. I walked to the Unity Ball like 2002. Was supposed to walk Schoolboy Realness, and me and Bianca was like, we want to walk Virgin Vogue, beginner's performance. So we snuck up there and walked it. I got sad, but Bianca won. And so after we got the floor, we went to see our burn again, and he was like, I told you not to walk that category, but y'all did cute, so I'm gonna let y'all keep walking it. So I walked it for like a little while after that, but then I ran into the Revlons, and that's when I went to Revlon.
You was a Revlon?
I was a Revlon too. Uh-huh.
For how long?
I wasn't at Revlon for that long. Like 2002, 2003, I was a Prestige. 2004, I was a Revlon. But they never let me walk though. Stiffy was fierce.
Why they didn't let you walk? But they didn't believe in you?
She didn't see it. She didn't see it. She thought that she told me one time. You remember the $1,000 New York Awards ball, the all black? I was supposed to walk that. I came
When
all the
Berlin
way
won?
to New York.
Is this when Berlin won?
When and Pixie debuted as a Revlon that night. So Stiffy came to me and told me, that's all right, that's all right, baby boy Marquise and Pixie got it. You don't gotta walk. And Charles Kahn was my mother at the time. When she heard that, she was like, it's no shade, daughter. I don't tell you what to do with your ballroom career, but them Revlons don't deserve you. You need to leave and go to another house. And I did.
So why you didn't go to Cologne with your mother Charles?
Because I felt like that was too easy. I felt like I never wanted to do something that everybody expected me to do. I always wanted to go somewhere else. And at the time, the prodigies in Detroit, which was Cage and Jeremy and them, they was really trying to get me to be a prodigy. And Skittles was a prodigy at the time too. So they kept they kept asking me, like, be the first vote film, be the first vote film of Prodigy, come to Prodigy. But this at the time, I didn't know Prodigy on the East Coast even existed. So there was a Midwest Prodigy and there was a East Coast Prodigy. They weren't one house at the time. So I
What
was a
was it?
Midwest Prodigy. I was a Midwest Prodigy.
So when did they merge? When did they merge?
Um, Remember the Balenciaga ball that they had, the real big one, where Ricky battled Malachi?
And,
They
and,
had
and,
Divas on.
and Ricky battled Prince.
Yeah, and Prince ended up winning. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That around that time where they merged the houses together. Like 2005 maybe.
So was the energy different when you became a prodigy?
Oh yes, definitely. They didn't. The East Coast Prodigies. They didn't really. It wasn't that they didn't see me. They didn't really care too much because they was fab. That was Man and Mika and Kingan and all of them. Like little Kevin. Little Kevin was the girl at that time. So her and Jamel, they was just like, oh okay, she from And I was tall, and they didn't think tall. Kevin always said tall girls shouldn't bow. So she didn't really see me either. But Jason was the only person who was gung ho. Jason just really believed in me. Jason was like, "No, you walk down, bitch. We gonna get you out there." So we went to the Midwest. We started trying to get me to walk all those balls. But at the time, they started using effects for Vogue Femme. Remember back in the day, there was no effects. You just would
No.
come out, maybe some bangles, or maybe if it said all pink, you would do that. But it really wasn't no effects. But they started doing effects after that, and I didn't really understand effects. People was literally going looks, but I was still like going at home and like making up my own little look, and it was like, no, girl, we said Egyptian this thing. Go back there. It was like Egyptian. I still don't do effects in this thing. I can't really. Effects don't make sense to me. I like to wear what I want to wear. I like to be comfortable in what I want to be comfortable in. So when I got to after that year of walking in the Midwest with as a prodigy, Jason was like, "We're gonna take you to the East Coast. The East Coast was gonna appreciate you." And then that's when I appeared on the East Coast in DC.
All right. How was that? How was that for you? How was that when you got to? Oh, that's the night when you called out Kitty. Is that the night you called out Kitty?
It was toward the yeah, it was around there. I started walking Monday Night Madness first. So we had already kind of had like a little thing going, but the DC Awards Ball was the first time I guess you could say nationally everybody found out who I was because I ended up walking there. But I had just beat Kitty in her own city in Kentucky that year. So when I got to DC, RJ, who was a Balenciaga, that's why he says round 3 on our first battle because we had already battled 2 times before that in Kentucky.
Okay. Right. I remember that boy. That's when you had the names on the shirts and all that.
Yeah, it was Divas versus Challengers. The only reason why she was a diva is because she just won New Vogue of the Year in the Midwest. So that's why she was a diva, or she would have been a challenger too. But it was mad of us. Little Black Girl, Leo, Kitty, Sheldon, fucking Charles, Deshaun, Little Kevin, Marquise. Like everybody walked. Like, that was
That was a,
a massive.
that was a good night. That was a good night.
Yeah.
That was a good night. I like that you as a prodigy. How was it? How was it when you got invited? How did you feel when you got invited to the POCC list?
I had to like really make them like put me on that list because I had won everything at that time. Like it was at the time it was Tim Tim, Marquise, me, and Kitty at the top of both them. And Prince was like kind of in and out. You know, she would do her damage and then disappear, and then come back and didn't disappear. And Foxy too, she would be at the thing still. So they was really more so about the Milans, which was Tim Tim, Foxy, and Prince. But they was getting I'll say hey y'all. Um they was winning the big major stuff, but I was winning everything else. So I felt that I should have been both of the year, or at least off and cut of the year. But they gave it all to Tim Tim. Like they was a Tim Tim was more popular. She was a crowd favorite. You know, they wasn't really. I was more of a villain, so I had to make them count my wins so that I could get on the PLCC list.
You
So it
had
was
to
kind of shade a little.
you had to bring it to them. You had to call them yourself and be like, "Bitch, what's up?" Or
Yes, yes, yes.
you had to advocate
I
for
call.
yourself.
Yes, yes,
Who do you call
yes.
for something like that? Who do you call?
You people is not going to care for your career as much as you're going to care about it. So as much as they tell you, oh, don't do this and don't do that, fuck that, call them. I hit up Sean. You remember Sean Prodigy?
No, I don't know Sean Prodigy.
Light skin used to twist. He don't twist no more, but he was on the PLCC committee, and he went to them and told them, you know, this was Pretty's resume. Y'all need to put her on the list. And Pony didn't agree. She was on the committee too. They tried to keep me off the list, but eventually, I guess he got people to back him and ended up putting him on the list.
All right. So that night you want
I
a
had to fight.
pony.
Huh?
So that night you want a pony.
No, I don't want her. I don't really know. I don't think about that shit. I'll leave that to Deshaun and them.
Right. So why did you leave Prodigy?
Which time?
The the first time when you left Prodigy, you was a Prodigy and then Allure and then back to Prodigy.
Yeah.
Why did
Okay, so I don't think I've ever talked about this to nobody for real. Okay, so at the time, I was best friends. The Allures is what really kind of discovered me, I guess you could say. I met them early on in my career. They groomed me. They taught me how to be, you know, one of the girls. I was very young when I met. I was like 17 when I met Ricky, Keontae, and David Allure, Sebastian. I met all of them at the time. And even Michelle. We met each other when we was like 16. Um, but they was like talking about they wanted this new generation of Allure. But then they put J Lo. They added J Lo into the house, and J Lo was from the Midwest too. And it wasn't like we was rivals, but you know, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's who y'all want. So I ended up going to Revlon. So then they started reading me about going to Revlon, and so I didn't know that they was grooming me to be in Allure. I thought the whole time that they was just that they lived for me as a family member, but that was it. So me and Rico got really close, but I ended up going to Prodigy. So they got over me. They was like, look, bitch, we done did put all this money and time into you and like took you all over and taught you all of this. And I'm working with Ricky all the time. Like Ricky teaching me all this stuff. And they're like, bitch, why would you go to Prodigy? It was because the Prodigies really wanted me and the Lord was kind of just pretend like, they wasn't making it seem like they wanted me to be in the house.
they was giving Allure shit?
Yeah, they was giving a Lord shit. You know, they were shady girls. Them shadiest girls. They was not telling you they lived you like you would be with them, but you didn't really know if they liked you or not. You know what I'm saying? Because they was older girls.
All
Like,
right. Yo, shout out to Baby and them. Shout out to the House of Allure, Sebastian,
talk
and all of
about
them.
Well, they Saint Laurent now, so shout out to Saint Laurent, baby. Those are the ones who raised me. So, um, Rico was me and Rico was like this. Me, Rico, Little Trey, all of us, we was close. Me and Rico was like this. Rico ended up messing with Man's lover at the time, and Man decided that he wanted to chop Rico for Twist at the time. Remember, Rico had just started twisting. He was kind of like the thing of Twist, but Man was giving, he's not real, yada yada yada. But the real reason why he was chopping him is because him and Rico had a relationship. They was cool, and Man felt like he disrespected him. So Man decided he wanted to take it out on Rico at any chance he could get. And Man made a promise to me that he would not do anything outside of Ballroom because of me and Rico's relationship, with me being a prodigy and me being the prodigy Vogue fan at that time, and me and Rico being best friends. So one day we was at a club in DC at Club Love, and they had came in, Man and Jason and them came in, and he seen Rico, and he tried to fight Rico, like tried to hit him with a chain and all types of stuff. And I went back to Man and I told him, I asked you nicely not to do this because you'll make you put me in the middle of this. This is my family and y'all are my house. So you're not putting me in the middle of this. And it started affecting my relationship with Rich, and it just was a whole big thing. So once Rich and them all started having beef with Man, it just kind of was a domino effect, right? And then everybody left. I wasn't the only person that left at that time. Jason left, Kenyon left, Rich left, Lisa left, everybody left. So it wasn't just me. Everybody makes it seem like it was just me that just left, but it wasn't just me. Man was out of control at the time, and we felt like he was being very immature about the situation. And so I left. And when I left, I went to Allure.
How was the
Finally.
process? How was the process of being Allure? Because Allure was like the top Vogue Femme house with not even that many members. Like you had the Milans, but the Allures was a different energy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Being in Allure was it was kind of like going to boarding school. Like, you couldn't date, there was a lot of rules. But the only rule that people probably don't know is they never made us walk balls. Being an allure was supposed to be a lifestyle. Being an allure was supposed to be, you were an allure all day. Whether you was at the club, whether you was at work, whether you was just in the streets. Being an allure meant more than just walking balls. So we was only required to walk 3 balls a year. So yeah, at that time, just walk really like that. We just had to walk 3 balls. That was it. So we could pick whatever 3 balls. Oh, and mandatory stuff. They made something mandatory, and we had to walk that too. But being on the Lord was just more than just that. But they had a lot of rules. We couldn't. I felt like, I always say it was like I was locked in a tower because I couldn't. They didn't have me talking to certain people. We couldn't kick places. Couldn't wear certain things. You couldn't. You could only walk your category if they caught you doing any other thing. Like, I remember one time Elliot, who was a box sex siren, he had Vogue. He had a mini ball. He vogued at the mini ball, and they put him out the house. They put him out the house.
I don't know who Elliot is, but that's Spears.
The sex siren. The sex siren.
Oh,
Sex
oh,
siren.
cute. No, not cute Elliot.
Yeah.
Elliot, that's in Milan. He was in Milan
Yes. Yes.
with the
Yes.
body,
He was in. Yes. He was in the lure.
with the Beijing, with the black, like little hardcore
Mm-hmm.
waves. No,
Yes.
where's Elliot? I
Yes.
love Elliot. Where's Elliot?
Elliot's around here somewhere. I think he lives in Brooklyn. I'm not sure, but
Work
yes,
Elliot.
girl.
Work Elliot. I love Elliot. He is so adorable. You know,
Yeah.
that's,
Elliot. They kicked his ass out. They say, yeah, adorable sex siren of the year, all that. Get the fuck out. We told you not to vote.
oh my gosh, that's so mean.
Baby, it was fierce. It was fierce. That's why, like, certain people left, like Lala, and it was like, yes, they try to make me change the way I talk and the way I dress, and it wasn't for everybody. It was a very, very, very exclusive tea. But it was the stuff that they used to do, the events they would have, and all that other stuff. You had to be a certain type of person to even get into those types of things, and they just didn't let certain elements around them. And most people live for it, but was it was a time. It was a time. I loved
Yeah,
it. It taught.
Lala Scott was the allure. Like, so how did you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel that you were the top vote for Prodigy at that time? You got to allure. it wasn't no top. It was like Ricky was the head bitch in charge, and then everybody else
Was
was like,
it was Diana Ross and the Supremes. It was very much, this is Ricky's house. This is what Ricky says is Bond. It was many times that I was supposed to walk, and I would give my effect to Ricky and she would walk. Like, because she was the girl. If Ricky decided she wanted to walk, it was all on Ricky. We was all there to be. I don't know if she meant it for it to be that way, but that's just how it was. And she had, at the time, she wanted it to be me and J Lo to be her, Michelle and Kelly. But J Lo ended up leaving because Berlin came, and she didn't like that. So when Berlin came, I was reluctant to come to the house because it's just too many girls, too many of the same thing, too many egos, it just don't seem right. But we ended up going past that, and I still came, and then Malachi came too. So it was me, Berlin, Malachi, and Ricky. But if you see, we never got on the floor together. We was never on the floor together at all, ever.
how was it for Malachi to get in then?
Malachi got in off the strength of Ricky. Her and Ricky was his best girlfriend. And Malachi was Malachi. Malachi was, legend.
So,
So she got in. Malachi was the ones that Malachi is the one who elevated my whole performance at that time.
oh, so Malachi the one that practiced with you and got you out there.
She took me. She's the one that turned Pretty Allure into a thing. The Pretty that you see now is because of me working with Malachi. I was voguing down before that, but I went. What is that? It's just all this different shit popping up. I don't know nothing about being. Thank y'all. But
Thank you,
um,
Jerome. Thank you, Moon Prince. Finish.
So yeah, Malachi was I was voguing down, but I wasn't the whole pretty character hadn't come to life. And Malachi we used to have rehearsal, like practice and stuff, and then she would send everybody else home, and she would pull out a bottle of vodka, and she would go to the radio, and she would sit down, she would pour herself a drink, and she would press play, and she would say Vogue, and I would vogue, she would stop it, and she'd say I don't believe you, and she would start it over, she would say start over. And this would go on for like an hour, 2 hours. After we have already bowled for 2 hours, she would say that she would get drunk as fuck and she would do nothing but read the shit out of me. And I hated Malachi. Like she left the house because of me because we got into it so bad. But now I love her now because I see what she was trying to get me. She used to say, "Who is Pretty? What does Pretty wear? What does Pretty do? Where does Pretty work? Where does Pretty live?" Like, make the story, make the character come to life. Don't just be out there voguing. If you're going to be named Pretty, then be Pretty. What is Pretty about? So I learned all of that elevation of the character from Malachi.
Shout out to Mally. Lord
Shout
Mally.
out to who
Well, I never
named
knew
me
that.
Pretty.
Yeah,
Are we gonna do?
we gonna do
It
questions.
was
We're
a
gonna do questions in a minute, y'all. We're gonna do questions in a minute, but I do want to know who named you Pretty.
Okay. It was this commentator. His name was Kodak, and he was in the Midwest. The very first time I won beginners performance, they had bringing it all pink. I bring it in bright colors, but you had to bring it in one solid color. So I wore pink from head to toe. And so every time I was sending people, when they was doing the votes, you kept saying one pretty in pink, two pretty in pink, three pretty in pink, four. I didn't have a name. I was just Devin Prestige at the time. So nobody knew what my name was. So every ball after that, they would say, "Hey, Pretty in Pink," because they didn't know my name. So after a while, they just stopped saying the in pink part. It just stayed as
So
Pretty.
why you didn't come wearing pink every ball?
You said what? Wearing pink every wall?
Yeah.
Um, Child, because I'm a deep thinker and I be thinking I'm like fake deep. So like I started wearing when I was younger. I used to wear a lot of bright colors, but I always felt like people didn't take me seriously. It felt like they didn't. And I realized that my mother wore a lot of black, and she's an executive. So I figured if I wear black and put on some frames. I always wore frames. I always like sunglasses was kind of my thing. Like I got from Aaliyah and them in the '90s. They always had on their frames. That was always their thing. So I always felt like if I was a celebrity, I would wear BMI frame. So they just don't come off. So that became like my signature. But the whole I didn't wear pink. I wore black because it made me seem more serious. Like Pretty was a serious thing instead of she's ditzy or what they call it, Chrissy Snow. Yeah.
Everybody, it's 363 people here. Please
What's
follow
good?
me. Make sure that you are Sharing alive,
Follow
shared
me.
alive, shared alive. Yeah, it's pretty. I have another. So why did you leave Allure then? Like, why? Like, Allure was. Were you like you met the Allure at the beginning? Why would you leave Allure? Wasn't it like your dream place?
Allure was my dream, bitch. Allure is still my dream. Allure is still my dream, and like in another world. But I never. The shade is, I never left Allure. I never. What happened was Ricky left Allure. Um, Ricky and Malachi got into it. Ricky didn't like the way Malachi was running. Malachi turned us into kind of like a military tight knit performance team, like the Blonde. She was trying to turn us into what she knew, which is what we wanted, which is why they put her in the house to make us that. Because Ricky is more of a improv. She's more freestyle. She's more just get out there and cut up and be yourself and get antics. Malachi was like technique. Learn the technique. This is gonna be tight knit, yada yada. So Ricky didn't like how Malachi had turned her squad into the Blondes. So Ricky left. Yeah, nobody knew this. This is all everything you're about to hear right now is inside school. Ricky left Allure. And that was the whole reason why most of us was there. So we was kind of like, we didn't know what to do. But everybody was fighting at the time. Everybody had a problem with everybody. Berlin had a problem with Ken. Malachi and me had issues. Ricky hated Malachi. Little Trey left after that. Little Trey left after Ricky because of Ken. So once he left, it just was a domino. Everybody started leaving. And then that coincided with Al um, coming back to Allure. Because Al was gone. There was a counselor that ran Allure. When Al came back, he looked around the house and he didn't like what he seen. So he started putting everybody out. And some people just didn't come back. They instituted dues. The girls didn't like the dues. The girls just didn't like any of the new stuff that Allure was trying to do, so everybody left. It was only after everybody left, I'm talking Michelet. Oh, well, no, Michelet never left. Little Trey, Ricky, Malachi, Berlin, um, uh, Ken, Lala, Kurt. Kurt was there. Kurt left. Bitch, once everybody left, it was only Tamaya left, McCullough left. It was only me, Christian, and Nakia. That was it. We was the only Allures left. And I will never forget, it was Candy World in Atlanta. And we had went to the ball. We rode with little Eric and Al to the ball. I had went in there, I'm kicking with the girls. I'm watching Dee Dee, Slave Face, and all of that. I remember Dee Dee was the mother of Allure.
Yeah.
And Al he took her title from her and gave it to Temperance. So Dee Dee left. So the whole house is in shambles. Nobody knows this though. I still think that the Allures is the bad. Oh, the Allures. Wasn't no Allures. It was only me, Christian, who's a baby. You know what I'm saying? Christian don't know what's going on. He had just got there for real. He only been there for like a year. And Nakia, who just got there. So we get to the ball. All I know is my phone rings. And Christian is like, bitch, get outside right now. I'm like, why? He's like, because they're trying to leave you. Al and Little Eric was trying to leave me at the Candy World ball. Yeah, they tried to leave me at the ball. So that was already strike two. I get to the mini ball the next day, and as I'm going, they started at LSS. I hate LSS. I just don't like being put on Front Street like that. So I really am not an LSS like a person. So whenever LSS come, I usually run. So I ran to the bathroom. When I get in the bathroom, London is falling out of the stall. It was like she got ejected out of the stall. I don't know. London is crazy. She gets ejected out of the stall. She turned to me, and she's like, sister, oh my God, sister, you need to leave that house. Fuck those girls. They don't know we're the bad girls and yada yada. I'm a mother and they're trying to make me pay dues and they don't care about us. Yada yada. You need to leave that house. Get out of that house. At the same time she's saying this, they're calling her out as Mother Mugler at LSS. I'm looking at her like, oh bitch, you in a whole new house. She said, oh yeah, sis, I'll be right back. So she goes and comes. So now I'm left in the bathroom by myself. Like all this shit has happened. Everybody done left, and I'm no longer in the lore. So I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? Watch the Throne was coming up. Watch the Throne was supposed to be the first time I was walking Legendary Performance. So I'm like, bitch, I need a house. I need something. I can't. Being a 007, being in Ballroom is pointless if you're a 007. I don't understand why. The whole point of Ballroom is to be in a house. I don't know why people live to be a 007 or something like that, but the whole point is to be in a house. I got to, man called me on the phone. Man called me on the phone and said, if I come back to Prodigy, I don't have to do nothing. He said the old band is getting back together. Rodney is about to be the father. He wants it to be a rebirth of Prodigy, and he can't do it without me. I need to come back. If I come back, I don't have to do nothing. Just come back. I said, deal. So I came back, and that's when I walked legendary performance for the first time that I watched the throne.
Who dinged you?
So the thing with that was I was the only person on the Masters of Vogue list who was not deemed a legend. All the rest of them have been deemed. All years have. Now they deemed me up and coming legend at the ball in Atlanta. Me, Cassandra, Kitty, and Foxy was deemed up and coming legend. They deemed Cassandra first at the late sex ball. At the Virginia Awards ball, they deemed Kitty and Foxy. So I was the only one that did not get deemed. And Cabbage, rest her soul, Cabbage called me and my coach one day and was like, come down here, Pretty, I gotta talk to you. I went to Cabbage house, you know, she cooked Sunday dinner and stuff. And she was like, they're deeming Cassandra. I was like, me? And she was like, yes, before you. And she was like, but I hate to tell you, but they're not gonna deem you until next year. And I was like, I'm not waiting for next year. If y'all deemed Cassandra and she didn't come out until years after me, if y'all deemed Kitty and she didn't come out until after me, I'm not waiting. Those are my peers. Everybody that I involved with was a legend. So I wasn't a legend. So after the Watch the Throne, after the What's in the Name, I went to Boston for the awards ball. When I came out,
No. So wait. So sorry to cut you off. Did you walk
go
Watch
ahead.
the Throne as a legend? Did you walk Watch the Throne as a
Yeah,
legend?
into. This is early on in the year. The Boston Awards was at the top of the year. Watch the Throne was at the end of the year.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went to Boston, and Athena calls me out. And Selvin stops her, takes the mic, and she says, from now on, this is no longer just Pretty Allure. This is the new legend, Pretty Allure, and you will address her as such. So Athena takes the mic back, and this is on YouTube, so you can look this up. And she takes the mic back, and Athena goes, excuse me, the legendary Pretty Allure. So I'm thinking, oh, cute. Now I can go watch the throne, and I'm a legend. I ain't got to worry about, even though Prince had already taken her legendary thing. And so I had all these things going behind me that said, and I never told Man and all of them that this was going on. So when they got to Watch the Throne and I came out, they gave me 10s, no problem. I sit Kitty, no problem. Here comes Tony Revlon. Now he has an issue with it. Tony has had an issue with me ever since I left Revlon back in 2005. He felt like I took the Revlon secrets and went to Prodigy and became a superstar. So that's his issue with me. And he's never liked me ever since then. So that whole situation that happened when he asked Selvin, did she deem me? And she said, a lie. Selvin did deem me in Boston.
Wow. So someone shitted on you.
Yeah, Selvin shitted on me. And then the very next day at the Rumble Ball, then she called me out first and she said, I'm the one to make you legendary. So I don't, the girls is the girls. They have your back and see, but I love Selvin to death. Without Selvin, I probably would have never been nothing. But it's just
So
that right at that moment, she bitched up.
so then you left Allure and went back to Prodigy. Man called you, said
Yeah,
the gang is getting back together. Why did you go back? Why didn't you just make your way somewhere else? Because you are pretty.
you're right. At that, yeah, child, I'm not knowing what to do, honestly.
Like,
That's really what I just didn't know what to do. At a certain point in your career, you pretty much done everything else, bitch. I got thousands wins. I've beaten everybody of the year. I was really trying to figure out what to do next, like where to take my career next. And so I felt like going back to Prodigy would give me something new to do because now I could be a leader, now I could be a parent, now I can, you know what I'm saying, which is what I ended up being, the Midwest mother at the time.
you was Midwest Mother Prodigy?
Yeah.
I never knew that. Shout out to you. I never knew that. So why did you leave your position in your house?
That was why I left Prodigy the next time because man is Man doesn't do Butch Queen mother does. The reason why I ended up being the mother in the Midwest is because of Jason again. Jason, man stepped away from the house. Ronnie left and made Balmain. Man stepped away from the house because he had some death in his family. And he gave the reins over to Jason. And so Jason gave me that position. But when Man came back, I shared it with DJ. DJ was the father.
Mm-hmm.
When Man came back, he started speaking to DJ and this child named Montrese in Detroit who are grown-ups who can't take me. But they started complaining about me, saying that I was too Hollywood, that I wasn't doing this, and that, and hating on me, telling they went and snitched on me to Man. So Man took all of my power from me and just made me a figurehead, basically. So I was only a trophy parent. I had no power. I couldn't make no decisions. So I couldn't put people in the house. There was nothing I could do. And I just didn't feel like that was right. I felt like I worked this hard, but Man took, if you didn't leave Prodigy, he treated you better. If you came back, he felt like you was a traitor. Deep down in his heart, he still felt like you wasn't really, you only here now because they wanted you back. I'm only here for the people that was Prodigy and never left, that stayed down, that stayed loyal. So he stayed with them, and he gave DJ, and he made me report to DJ. And DJ is somebody who I put in the House of Prodigy when I was a Prodigy the first time. So, bitch, I'm not going to report to somebody that came after. That just didn't make sense to me.
So you wound up leaving.
Yeah, so I love him.
So why you didn't go to Saint Laurent? Because your whole family was there. Michelet,
Um,
everybody else. Al, not Al. I mean
no,
Misha.
told you, like I just told you before, I don't like doing stuff that everybody just assumed I was gonna go to Saint Laurent. They just knew I was gonna go there. And so I did the one thing that nobody thought I would do was I went to Lanvin. And it was actually Dee Dee and Erica Kane and my girlfriend Michi from St. Louis. They was all Lanvin, and they was like, girl, you need to come over here with us. There's nobody over here. You could have your own thing. Yada yada yada. So I started talking to Michi and them about joining the house, and they were deciding between me and Ricky who they was going to put as Deshaun's counterpart, because Deshaun was being Deshaun at the time, and he wasn't really involved in anything. And so I went to talk to Deshaun. I talked to everybody about it, and they
What
was all
Ricky
down
Allure?
for it. Ricky was
She
supposed to be along then before
for
me.
real?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I wanted Ricky as a live in. I always want Ricky as a Allure.
Exactly, which is why it didn't work out, because they was like, it didn't fit, it didn't make sense at the time. They was like, it's Ricky. We would love to have Ricky. She was only going to be in a kind of a tutor aspect, like a mentor. She was just going to teach the girls and do that. She wasn't really going to be walking or nothing, but they wanted somebody who was going to walk and teach them at the same time. So that's why I ended up doing it. But at the same time, all of that was happening was when Legendary was coming to us too. So that's why I'm on the show as a Saint Laurent, and in real life I'm a Lanvin for that, because Legendary, I wasn't a full Lanvin yet. I didn't become a Lanvin. I was just in talks with them to become one.
So were you half Saint Laurent?
Well, I went to Saint Laurent because Misha, that's my sister. She was like, bitch, come be a Saint Laurent. It's just for the show. Like, if you want to go, come to Saint Laurent afterwards, you can come. If not, it's all you.
I want to. All right. So when you came back out as a live in, you was on fire. No shit. You came with a new energy. You came with a new like you came to battle.
Right. Because me linking with Deshaun was something that we had probably should have done years ago, honestly. It's just we feed off of each other. You know how you meet somebody that y'all just click, we finish each other's sentences sometimes. We call each other yin yang, like we direct opposites of each other, whether it's soft and gun dramatics or he's a nice guy, he's good cop, bad cop with us. We switch off between now and
Light
time.
skin,
So
dark skin.
yeah, you know what I mean? When I got with Deshaun, it just seemed like everything just started going full speed ahead. Like Glad Awards, different parties, polls, we on poll. Everything just went digital. So it was just the energy of what we created at the time that made it like that. So I guess I was just feeding off that energy. Plus Deshaun votes like every day. He made me vote every day.
So you
He
needed
was in
that.
shape.
You needed that energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I always felt like everybody else would be feeding off of me. I know you felt like that before, but like when you go somewhere, you just feel like nobody's contributing. It's just you contributing stuff, and
Yeah.
everybody else is succeeding, but you not really succeeding for real. Like I wasn't doing nothing. It just felt like I was going around to these places and using the clout that I did build up for everybody else, but it wasn't doing anything for me. Now I found somebody that was on my level, you know what I'm saying, or higher than my level, and that's what made it work. Shout out to Deshaun, for real, for real.
I want to talk about one of your battles that you had that was that you and Ty Young.
Me and Ty Young.
Yeah, when you
Oh
had the
yeah.
battle in the new school. What was that? What was going through your battle? Because she already got Deshaun out of there.
Oh my! I was one to murder her. Like I couldn't believe she beat Deshaun because in my mind, Deshaun is like kind of invincible. You know what I'm saying? And when he beat Deshaun, and then Michaela lost to Star, and then Sean lost the tie. So I'm like, oh, I can't lose now. Now I have to do it. We on a roll. Like I just did the Garcon ball. Like we had so many things going. So yeah, but see, I knew that's the thing about it. I knew she didn't have no more tricks left though, but she had used them all up on Deshaun. I knew Deshaun was gonna tire her out. You can't just beat Deshaun and not think you're gonna. If I wasn't left, the tie probably would have won 1,000.
Okay.
I'm
So
too
you,
old of a cat to buy a kitten, ma. My
I feel
bad.
you. I feel you. I feel you. So who you feel gave you the best battle in your career? Like who gave you the best battle?
Besides Deshaun. Oh wow. Shit. Definitely Deshaun. Deshaun for me. Deshaun, like we battled twice, and Deshaun. Oh, Prince too. Prince had me shook a little bit. Prince had me shook because you never know what somebody like a Deshaun or a Prince is gonna do. You never know what they're gonna do. I try not to underestimate anybody, but the way that I perform is a different. I go about it from a different direction. So nobody. Oh, Cassandra. Yes, Moon Prince. Yeah, Cassandra. Cassandra's the best vocal ever to me. Like
For real?
I was a big fan of Cassandra. Besides her being my niece and us having a certain relationship, Cassandra for me was she could do anything. She could spit on her neck. She could climb up the wall. She could duck walk backwards into a split, into a spin. Like she could do. You never knew what Cassandra was going to do. Well, if I had to say anybody else other than Deshaun or Prince, it would be Cassandra for sure, for sure.
How many times you battle Cassandra?
Like 7 or 8 times.
She got you or you got her?
I got Cassandra like 6 times. She only beat me
Okay.
one time. Well, I mean
So
one
you
time at the at the awards ball.
so you know how to get your
Because
knees.
you gotta think faster than the girls. Cassandra is talented, but that doesn't mean that she can beat you in a battle. Somebody can vogue better. Somebody can be better than you at everything that they do, but that doesn't mean that they can beat you in a battle. As long as you have the strategy and you know how to play the game, it's about the judges. When you're in a battle, it's about the judges. Cassandra's amazing when it comes to solo performances, but she doesn't know. She didn't know how to key into the judges. I perform for the judges. So regardless of whether they want you, the crowd might think you the fabulous. The crowd might be screaming for you, which is what they always was. They was always going up for Cassandra. Hey, that the judges is up here. These are the people who decide who stays and who goes. So while she will be back there flipping and jumping on stages, I will be in the judges blowing kisses, and that's how I will always see Cassandra.
So I have a question for you. I want to piggyback. Where's David at? What's his name? David, the one that didn't want to vote and she put up the beat. David,
David.
was she Dave Mugler? Was it or Law?
Oh yeah. She live in Atlanta now. She don't
She
vogue
don't
no more.
she don't speak the language no
No,
more.
when Ballroom switched over, it's a lot of people from those time periods that doesn't vogue no more because when Ballroom changed, they didn't like how it changed. Once YouTube and all that stuff came in, they just didn't like the beats sped up. So many different things changed, and some girls just didn't evolve with that shit. You know, I made sure that I was always what's new, doing what's going on. The only thing I didn't do was the 360, and I can kind of 360 a little bit.
So before you started voguing, who was your favorites to watch? Who was your favorites that you saw that got you hyped?
Okay, Arturo. Like I have Arturo walked as a ball and Atlanta in a striped like referee shirt and a white skirt and wrestling boots, and that was my uniform. Like 2 years after that, bitch. Every time I walked, I had on a tight shirt, a skirt, and wrestling boots. I was obsessed with Arturo. I thought Arturo, the way she moved was just so fast. Arturo, I used to watch a shit ton of Arturo, a shit ton of Ricky. Like, those are the only two, like, I literally lived and breathed. I had a tape with just them on it. I would watch them over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So it was them two, but I watched a lot of film queens, though.
What's the difference?
Other than
What's the difference between Arturo and Ricky performances?
Arturo is more technical. Arturo is more, he's sitting in his catwalk. He's got 6 different catwalks. He uses his hands a lot. He knows how to maneuver around the place. Ricky is more of her personality, more of a, she brings the illusion to life. So it's like you're watching a girl, but it's a whole dude up there. You know what I'm saying? She's on the booty short with the sting, with the cowboy boots, with off the shoulder. You know, it's more femme. It's way more femme. Charles was more technical. Like, she cut, she sliced it. You could tell she was more about choreography. Ricky wasn't so much about the choreography of it. Ricky's was more about being in the moment. You know what I'm saying? If you have a flower in the crowd, she's going to take the flower and smell it. You know, she had the antics and stuff with it. Arturo lacked that in personality. What Arturo lacked in personality, Ricky made up for that. And vice versa, what Ricky lacked in. Because Ricky couldn't stand or none of that other stuff. She really didn't have all those moves. Arturo had more moves than Ricky did.
So what did you take from both of them?
Those two things. I took technique from Arturo, and I took the personality, the story from Ricky. It's when Ricky came out, it was always, you always felt like she was telling a story, like, this is the adventures of, you know. That's how I always wanted to, when you see me, whenever I come out, I always wanted it to be pretty, this was a story, this is a part of my story, like, this is a new part of my story.
So who's in your class?
Me, Tim, Marquise Honda, Baby Boy, Ricky, I mean, not Ricky, Kitty, J-Lo, Berlin,
Foxy.
Sheldon. No, Foxy was before me. I would put Prince at the beginning of my class. Like, Prince was like, Prince and Jamel and them kind of started the class out, and then all of us from the Midwest came. Me, Berlin, J-Lo, Tim, Skittles, BB, who is now Aja, Calvin, who's now Mika, Ninja, Jamari. Jamari was in our club, but Jamari was from the West Coast. A lot of people
Deshaun.
don't vote. No, Deshaun was performing too. Deshaun, actually Marquise is kind of with them too. That was like the 99
But you don't
girls,
think Prince?
99.
You don't think Prince is in Deshaun's class?
Oh, Prince came out in 2002. That's when I came out. Kitty came out the next year. Deshaun and them came out in 99, 2000. We came out in 2002, 2003. And Foxy came out in like around Deshaun and them too. Deshaun, Malachi, Big Kevin, Fox, that's one era.
I'm sorry, not to cut you up, but from what I remember, Foxy was out before. I mean, Prince was out before Foxy.
No.
Yes.
Foxy was a Christian Bazaar.
She wasn't walking though. She was just a Christian Bazaar. She did the Grand March. That Grand March in 2000 when there was a snowstorm, but she didn't walk.
Right, I feel what you're saying. When did it come? Okay, so I get what you mean, but Prince was, when I first started, Prince had just walked beginner's performance at the People's Choice with Roxy, against Roxy in New Jersey. Those were the first videos I used to watch. So when I was first starting, they had just walked beginner's performance. So that's why I said she was at the top of the class.
Because I remember that. I remember Deshaun and Prince being the thing, and Prince and Jamel being the thing at one point too.
Right, 2002. That was 2002 when all of that started.
And when it was those things, like even when you watch the Little Jamel's not in your class. Little Jamel's in Deshaun's class.
No, Little Jamel isn't. The Jamel, Little Maya gag, Jamel, Little Maya, Prince. Those are the people that are at the top of our class. That was like the new era coming in. When those girls came in, Malachi and all. Remember Malachi Nation? That's who they had to battle. They had to battle them.
But Malachi was the class before Deshaun.
Exact. No, Malachi Deshaun was battling them. Deshaun
She
was.
was
Remember they was late.
she was
They was
battling,
late.
but she was battling them, but she wasn't in the class.
Who was? Well, who? Deshaun?
I think
Yeah,
that.
they Deshaun. No, you're right. Deshaun is in that in between stage. He was at the end of their class and at the beginning of our class. He kind of operates in both of those
So
ways.
you don't think Prince is in the middle too? By the way, you don't think so?
I mean, you could say
I
that,
mean,
but
because
I
remember, Little Jamel was
from
more.
my
Remember,
from my
right.
perspective, well, where would you put Tyree?
I don't never count Tyree, no shade, because she always dipped and dabbed. Personally, I think that she was kind of older, but I don't remember. I remember Deshaun. I remember Deshaun came out. I remember when Prince came out, but I remember Prince, and I know Foxy because I'm cool with them. So I
Right,
remember Prince speaking the language before Foxy. Like Prince was a thing. Like she was Infinity.
right.
Remember, and remember Little Jamel was walking when Little Jamel was battling Pony and them, but Little Jamel she wasn't in the class. She was,
That was 2002. Think about the POCC when they did the Joker and
but before
name and
that,
all that. That calls Jamel out. He says, "Because you was a bitch that's eating in the past 2 years. It had only been 2 years that
she
had
was out
passed."
before that because remember Jamel walked when Jamel battled remember at the world when they battled when Paul battled Pony. Paul
Oh
had
yeah,
a
that was 2001, right? That was
when
2001.
Alora battled Kelly. The name of Alora battled Kelly.
So they at the end of they are at the end of that era, the beginning of. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Because remember
So
Jamel was a blonde and then she left to become an ebony and
right,
that's the name when Pony ate her up.
yeah.
And,
And she was at the glow and her little pink stuff. Yeah, I remember.
and
I remember that scene.
Foxy wasn't out yet when they was walking back then.
She was, but she just wasn't a thing.
She wasn't
She just
walking. I'm telling you, know who was out back then? Mind you, it was this Bush queen named Junior. She was a Prada. She was soft and cut. She walked like 3 balls at the world, but she used to do kill.
But that was like Miss Wayman from Jersey. Yo, you remember who she talking about?
Miss Julie Prada. She used to wear flowers in her hair.
She's had flowers in her hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so where would you put like Little Bit in there, man? Like maybe not Little Black Girl, but Little Black Cunt.
I don't remember Little Black Girl like that. I think Little Black Girl should be like around
No,
y'all.
Little Black Girl was my era. No, Little Black Girl was my
Yeah.
era.
I was about Little
Little
Bit
Black
Revlon.
Cunt.
I was about Little Bit
Yeah, so,
Revlon.
yeah, Little Bit. That's what I was asking about too. Because
Little
wasn't
Bit
she a blonde
Revlon.
into it?
Little Bit Revlon is like Mika Antonio Melantes.
See, it's all the years get mixed up.
Like Little Bit
The not
Revlon is
when
Little Bit Revlon
oh
is a Toro on them.
when the 99 era, 2000 era, them girls they started all blending together. But if you're talking about my class, the first people that I remember watching Vogue film was like the Prince was battling Malachi's and Tyree's and those girls and Deshawn's and them. So if Deshawn and them is at the end of that last class, then for me the first girls was Jamel and Prince for both of
Cause
them. For me.
I don't remember Tahiri as much. The first time I saw Tahiri Vogue was when she was in the Ebony production when she came out as um
And the Black Hat's a Catwoman.
yeah when she came out in that when Laura came out as Harley Quinn. That's when I remember Tahiri. I don't remember before that.
I remember her when she walked the latex wall and she was the glitter pussy when she had on that cat suit when she threw the glitter out. That's why they call her the glitter pussy cat. What year was that? I was like 99.
See, I wasn't paying attention. You know, no shit. I don't really pay attention to the Spanish girls if they don't get busy.
Oh my God! See, you can't be like that, girl.
Like no shit.
You gotta.
Like I didn't live with Pixie because Pixie didn't turn it up like that for me.
Pixie was not Spanish.
Pixie wasn't Spanish.
No, Pixie was not Spanish. No, Pixie was Portuguese.
Same
It's
thing.
not Spanish. Don't be racist.
They said
Oh wait,
Jamaican.
no. Said she Jamaican. Yeah, Pixie Jamaican, but she was Jamaican and Portuguese. She was Portuguese and Jamaican. We have the same name and everything. We were sisters. You know, we was Revlons together. I remember this whole thing. She just always said they all think she's Spanish and she's not Spanish. I remember her saying that all the time.
So so you think the classes got mixed up? Because I don't remember Marquise back then either. I think Marquise is more your class. I don't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Marquise came out in '99, but when we did the Icon Ball of 2007, Selvin says to Marquise, she didn't know who she was. So, and then when she got walked the Divas thing, they had chocolate because they said she wasn't a diva, and that was the Balenciaga ball. So, people's histories get all mixed up because of the regions. People stay in a region, and they'll build up this thing, and then they'll go somewhere else, and everybody will know who they are. But you can't discount all of the years that they have been voguing somewhere else before that. So
A
that's
little
why
bit.
I say certain time, but maybe you don't mark them as starting. Then you may have marked them as starting thing. But both of them, the girls know each other. They always say, "This is the year I started," so I
Okay,
go
okay,
by
okay.
what they. You know what I
O-
mean?
Okay. So
But to be fair,
all right. How was your experience on Legendary?
Legendary. Hold on, I gotta get my charger for my thing because I don't want to lose that. But I'm gonna school you on Legendary real quick. My perspective on it.
Share it live, share it live, y'all. Share it live.
Y'all about to go to the store? I'm being ghetto. All right. So my experience on Legendary. First of all, shout out to you because am I sideways?
You always yeah.
Shout out to you because you really for getting up there with us. I gagged when they said you was doing your thing. So shout out to you for being on Legendary. Yes,
Thank
Courtney
you,
was
thank you.
helping out. No shade. I was coming to you like, please, please, can you help us get this? Because it was like it was not what I expected. Okay, we had started the Legendary situation over 2 years ago. Nobody knew about it. You know, we had shot the trailer and everything, and it was supposed to be a completely different type of show. We thought it was supposed to be on Bravo, first of all. It was not supposed to be on HBO. It was supposed to be more reality based than ballroom based. And they were going to have certain certain categories, but how it ended up being was not how the show was supposed to be. Which is why we assembled the team that we assembled. If you notice, we had somebody. Hey, Carl.